Alright guys, Wes Clapp here with the Outlaw Society. Old location up here with the guys at Performance Auto Works. Two of our Wicked Street 2022 contenders right here in the house. Mr. Jon Baker and Mr. Rippy. What's going on, guys?
Doing all right.
Hanging out
I hear you've been working hard,
every day.
staying pretty busy. Alright, good deal. We're gonna talk drag racing. Y'all good with it?
I'm good with it.
Alright, I got a couple questions I want to talk to them about. This is something new guys are doing with the Outlaw Society. So first time we're doing this live interview one-on-one. I shouldn't say live interview. The first time we're doing personal interviews. So something new we're doing. We got a lot more of it to do, a lot more of it to come, and lots more racers to go out and meet and greet and hang out with them at their shops, their locations, the places they work on their hot rods. So pretty cool stuff we're getting ready to start doing here with the Outlaw Society. This winter we're really going to get busy, so a bunch of new stuff coming in 2023. But anyway, here guys, I got a couple questions for you. We're going to talk drag racing. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Brian, you want to start? How did you get into racing? How long have you been racing?
Been racing about 25 years. Always been around hot rods with Dad growing up. He always working on something, you know. And been running the heads up stuff. We done a lot of index, done bracket. Started doing the heads up probably the first year Jim had the bounty stuff, and he had
Cheap Street days.
Had Cheap Street, and started the first year he ever had Dad. You was in it.
Yeah.
Been going ever since. Been running Ultimate Street with the Malibu. Got top 5 qualifying in it one year at Valdosta. And
Made it pretty good ways one year, I think, in elimination.
yeah, I got down to the semis in Ultimate Street.
That's a big accomplishment right there.
That's when they was.
Got to bring it down.
You had to run the old tire. The old
Yeah,
regulation.
yeah, the
I remember
old
those
radio.
days. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think they still have to run that tire.
Yeah, if you went 503, then you was flying.
Oh yeah, the day.
And then just been done a lot of the no time stuff, and now Outlaw Society.
There you go. John, tell us a little bit about it, buddy. How long you been doing it?
Mine it's 25 years, and I got into it because of my dad, and probably bracket race. I guess me and you done my first index heads up deal, whatever, the 850 or whatever it was back when we were both door handle racing. Yeah, 411.
Those were the days.
Oh yeah, we had a good time. We thought we was doing something, but and then I got into index racing, and I started index the 6.0 when he was doing the Cheap Street stuff, because I didn't have anything to run it. All I had was big tires, and then he talked me into going small tire racing, so we went ahead and done that. And then he actually loaned me his little truck, and I run it for 2 years, a year,
Yeah,
something like that. We done real good, and then I got the Mustang, and then we've been running it ever since, doing basically the same stuff. When you see him, you see me. It's one of those type deals.
So tell us a little bit. Speaking of your Mustang, tell us a little bit about your cars. Of course, you drive the Coupe Mustang. Miss Lou's what you call it. Tell us a little bit about the car.
It's an 86 Mustang I bought from Greg's boy out at GPS, and
Greg Daughtry.
redone a bunch of stuff on it. Needed something lighter. The Malibu we could only get down to about right at 2,900 pounds, and I said it ain't worth cutting it all apart, so we sold it to a guy up in Pennsylvania who was running Ultimate Street, and we bought the Mustang, redone it, got it a little lighter, you know. And Miss Lou comes from, you know, my grandmother, her name was Anna Lou, and then my daughter was named after her. Her name's Anna Lou. We always called her Lulu, so when we done this car, I put her birthday on it for the number, and we called it Miss Lou, kind of for both of them, you know. And
Good deal. I didn't know that.
yeah.
Cool story. I know there's a story behind of course, John drives the real pretty black blue Mustang. They call it Frankenstein, but I know there's a story behind that. John, you want to tell that story?
Yeah. So I got the bright idea that I'd go out here and run the top five.
No prep,
yes, Tennessee, no prep,
I said,
whatever.
Don't run that crap.
And he kept on, and he said, no. And so we got out there, and we could leave, but we couldn't do nothing out the back. So I made the comment, I'm going to take this thing down there, whether some bitch is on its top or not. And I was on my top. So rounding around on my top, the other end. So we pretty much flipped it back over, and I said, I'm done. I ain't racing no more. I said, hell, we've tore it all to hell, And he said, no. He said, we're putting it in the garage. So we took it up there and put it in his little garage and started working on it. And
we saved 1 quarter panel.
we saved 1 quarter panel out of the whole car. I had Burn House, which built the car. He come and went all over the cage and checked everything, told us where to add a few bars at, and we redone it. I mean, completely redone the whole car. Got a lot of Richard Reagan's scrap parts that he said wouldn't go fast, so we piled it on my car, and then we used it. And Danny Nicely was in here when we were working on it, and he said Frankenstein, because it was made out of like 5 different cars. So that's the story of, it's stuck. And the car works good. I mean, you can't tell it by this year's Outlaw Society, but it does run good, and it does do good. We'll get it figured out.
It's a fast car. It's bad hard.
It's just, I'm hard-headed, and I wanted to make something work, and it's not working, so we're going to go back to the way it was, and it should be a big difference. It's that Crossville.
Who do you give most of your credit to?
My dad,
Yeah, that's
my wife.
probably my family, my whole family. And blood don't make you family, just so everybody knows. My family's huge. I mean, all of us are family.
And
So
y'all do. Y'all been together, and of course, a lot of our local guys know these two. They're always together. I call them Frick and Frack all the time. We aggravate, have a good time. But you don't see one without the other. It's a very tight-knit group. We're proud to have them with the Outlaw Society. They're like family. So, what do you enjoy most about racing as a whole?
I pretty much enjoy the whole family atmosphere, just having fun with your friends. I mean, we all get out and play cornhole and drink beer and have a good time after the racing's done, but I like the competitiveness, and that's why it's so aggravating to me, is because I've not done any good. But I mean, it happens. You have good years, you have bad years. I mean, we won a championship last year, and that was for my dad. He passed away on April 28th, and we won the championship for him, and he never got to say. I mean, I've raced 25 years and never won a championship, and then he passes away and I won one. But and hopefully this year it's his turn. I've took 3 races off just so he's got a chance, but I'm gonna come on strong this last 3. So
Yeah.
I think he throws stuff under my tires and don't let me get off the starting line. I think that's what it is.
How's your racing programs going in 2022?
So far, so good.
His is going really good. Now my son's, he's doing real good, and Charlie was doing good, but
Ryan Rippy, by the way, is our 2022 Wicked Street points leader right now. So he's in the lead. There's a lot of people after him.
and I'm in last.
Are you in last?
No.
Okay, now you're going. Bullshit.
I keep telling them, they say, long way to go. You got, 3 more races, and one of them's double points, so you really got 4 races.
Yep, we do. We got still got Crossville at the end of this month, which is August, I think, 26th and 27th. Then back to Brainerd, and then finish up the year over Shadyside. Shadyside's a familiar home to you.
Oh, yeah. We've done a lot of racing out
A lot
there.
of people.
A lot
it's
of
strange
Nitro
place
Street.
for 'em. But Shadyside's a wicked little track.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all our Nitro Street races are at Shady.
Yeah, every one of the Nitro Street races was at Shady, and we only went to 1 this year, and they've not had any more. So
what's your thoughts on the Outlaw Society so far? I know you're new this year. Y'all come on board. What's your thoughts on it?
I think you do.
Be honest.
I think the track's garbage. Nah, cut that out. No, I mean, it's tricky. It's really hard.
The track is the limiting factor.
And when you take cars that run really, really fast, you're not going to go really, really fast on the mild stuff. But yet it's a little better than slicks won't. So I mean, you're in the middle. It's kind of it's a tricky deal.
Well, I
And-
think
Okay, hold on, champ. Can I, just for a minute? But I think that once you figure it out and don't try to rotate the earth, you're fine. But I'm one that tries to go fast. If I see somebody and I think they go fast, I want to go faster. But I'm going to go A to B every single time, and it works because he goes A to B every single time. As I sat and watched.
well, that's what I was gonna say. You know, the track is a limiting factor, but you got to think. When we used to run Cheap Street, it was always a limiting factor. So it ain't nothing we're new to. It's just getting back to it.
Power.
You got to shake the cobwebs out is what you got to do.
We got used to all that radio prep, and then we got to come back and remember what we done before.
It just takes a while to remember. I mean, but it's a fun deal. I mean, you doing a real good job with it, and I ain't just saying that because you're interviewing us. I mean, you do a good job. I mean, I've raced 25 years, and you're the first person to give tow money because the gas prices went up. And I mean, I really think I really feel like that says something to me as a person. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but. And I mean, I think you've done well.
We're definitely trying, definitely. We got a lot of stuff to improve on, a lot of stuff to grow, but, just like anything, we're on what built today.
No, and I mean, you got to.
And the track ain't terrible. We ain't saying
No,
that.
it ain't terrible. It's just not
But
a radio
it's not
prep
radio
track.
prep.
Well, I guess I've got a question on down here that's going to kind of get back to that. I'm going to skip this next question and go on to that since we're talking about that. How many pistons you burn up this year?
I ain't going to answer that
None
because
so far.
I'm not going to answer that because I believe in bad karma. And if I tell you none, there'll be 13 laying in the box. So I'm not doing
Okay,
that.
let me ask you this.
Well,
Compared to other years of radio racing and stuff like that,
Well, I
where
got
are
a
you
jet.
at as far as
I got a jet
points?
in it right now. I
Or
know.
not points, but where are you at
Yeah.
as far as parts?
I mean, we're good. It's.
I put a jet in it. I know I can pedal the car with if I have to.
And not kill it.
Yeah, when I'm running the stuff where you got to have every inch,
You're not going to pedal it.
you pedal it once, you put a piston in it. But I got a jet in it right now. I can kind of play with the gas pedal if I need to.
All right, so as the Outlaw Society, part of what our plan when we started this, or our idea was giving racers the opportunity to come put on a show, some good heads up, side by side competitive racing, but also the opportunity to turn their hot rods down a little bit. And of course, you've got the nickname Burn 'em Up Baker.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something right now, and everybody listen to this. Richard Reagan told me this a long time ago. He said, if you're scared to burn it up, you might as well just go on and put it in the trailer right now.
True statement. But are you doing better this year than what you've done in past years?
Yeah, I'm just called Slip and Slide Baker now because I can't seem to.
Well, I'll tell you what I do, Wes, with your stuff. I'll find a pass I think is somewhat decently fast because, if you do this a long time, you know what other combinations will run or capable of. But I'll run something I think's decently fast. Maybe that's all the track will hold. And most of the time I'll just leave it right there. You got to beat me.
Yeah. Hey, that's smart.
If you don't go A to B, you ain't going to win nothing.
We've all won
Me,
races
on the other
not having a
hand-
faster car.
Me, on the other hand, I want to always go faster. So,
Yeah, I mean,
and he's constantly in my ear. My boys call him my conscience. They're like,
I'm
Dad,
like, you don't need to go that fast.
Dad, listen, because I've always I want to go fast. I'm like Ricky Bobby. I want to go fast.
Well, I will say this, getting back to some of how this season's going. A lot of people say, oh, you can't do a series like this with no rules. Of course, the no prep thing is a huge thing right now, and it's pretty much based on tires for the most part. There's sometimes we have deals where it's factory firewall, factory full board, stuff like that. But for the most part, all these classes are centered around the tires. But we really are on a decently prepped track. I mean, it's not garbage.
Yeah, if you can make a 4-second run, it ain't garbage.
But we've got guys
Right.
that we've got nitrous cars, we've got turbo cars, we've got blower cars, and we got a nitrous car leading the points. And this past race, we had let's see, who was you going to be in the final with? We had an accident with Mr. Trent and didn't get to finish the event. Thank goodness he was okay. But we had Jimmy Staley was driving a turbo car versus Rippy with a nitrous car, and Rippy is in the lead in our 2022 point standings with a nitrous car. So the rules are, I mean, it's kind of working, guys. It's anybody's ball game, and we've got a few guys. You know, Heath's joined us as of late with a turbo car. Jimmy and Alan are getting a handle on their car. They're making some pretty good improvements, but it's still anybody's ball game. You know, Heath won at Brainerd, but he didn't do so hot at Knoxville. And it falls back to the track. You know, these guys are really having to tune their cars. Of course, you've seen the little killer Scott Kincaid show up.
He'll be at Crossville.
He's had some luck. He's had some good luck on his side, but also we've all seen that car run 420s.
Oh yeah.
And they don't run nowhere near that at our events. So it's kind of leveled the playing field, and they're right there in the hunt with everybody. So it's, in your honest opinion, I mean, you guys think it's working out pretty good?
I mean, yeah, we have a good time. I mean, on paper, the way it looks, no, we should not be able to run with Scott. We should not be able to run with Heath, you know, on paper.
No,
but when you put the track in there, it's a deciding factor. That's because my car runs good out the back, and I mean, I can't apply the pressure like I used to be able to. I mean, you know, that's the thing. You have to be able to go out the back, and I mean, and leave on the start line. Same difference. I mean, it's hard to figure.
We figured that out at the first race. We both left the big jets in, and we make it to about 3:30, and that's it.
I went fast that one pass, but that was.
And another thing I think that throws another wrench in it is we're at different tracks, different facilities.
Yeah, you can't get used to the same thing. It's what setup works here is not going to work down here.
Well, just like Knoxville, okay, and of course over time it's going to happen. But you know, our first race at Knoxville was in April. You know, it was probably 60 something degrees versus July where we had a heat index. Well, I think track temperature was 140.
Oh yeah, it was up there.
So having to tune them cars and knowing the track, knowing the surface, being able to walk out there. I'll tell you something that I rarely see though, and it kind of, I ain't gonna say floors me, but we never hardly see racers walk out before they make passes to check the track.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I just
we
that
learned that you have to do that. If you're going to do something and do it right, you need to be up there before. You need to be up there while you're getting ready to go. Because I mean, it can change in 10 minutes.
I usually just ask somebody.
He don't know who's lining him up half the time. He just looks up and says, "Hey, there's Austin."
I say, "How's the track?" And then I push a button.
What's been your hardest part to change from radio racing?
Just the
managing the power for me.
Seeing how fast you can get the car to go.
And having that mentality that I want to be the fastest. That's the hardest thing for me is comment. You take a car and you're used to going fast, then, I mean, we still go fast, but not as fast.
Yeah.
It's hard to, because you want to use all that knowledge you got to go fast. You want to be like, well, I can put this here. Yeah, but it's not going to go ever fast.
Yeah, true statement.
So, I mean, you can go fast one time, maybe, but as the night progresses, it's not going to happen.
It's up in the air. Consistency wins races, folks. Plans for 2023.
That's a secret. Oh yeah, yeah. I think we found our home there. We really like it. We like racing local. We like the way you do it.
I'm tired of driving 7-8 hours every time I want to go race.
Me and him was talking today. I mean, there's times we race 5-6 hours away from the house every single weekend. I mean,
we done it back to back. We went, was it 7 hours to Virginia, and then we went 6.5 hours to Macon the very next weekend. Yeah,
it's just good to have a place that you can race. And I mean, the farthest trip we make is like 3 hours. So I mean, you can go there, race, and come back home if you want to.
We do have a little bit of a, I think, change coming for 2023 as far as some of our tracks. We've got some other tracks wanting on board. So
that sounds good to me.
News announcements coming.
Let's just not go to Florida, okay?
Yeah.
Not going to go that far.
We're not trying to go.
What would you? Go ahead.
I don't want to go past 4 or 5 hours.
No, we're not going there. It ain't that far away from home. What would you say to other racers out there who are curious about the Outlaw Society? What advice would you give them?
I would say come on in, the water's fine. That's what I would say.
Yeah,
The more the merrier.
you gotta be in it to win.
Also, of course, the payout structure, and guys, I want to say this, of course, Wicked Street, it's guaranteed $2,500 at each event on a $200 entry. We do pay $1,500 the winner, $500 the runner-up, $250 to the semis, and of course, if we get in a predicament where there's 3 cars in the semis, that extra money goes back into the pot for that 4th semi. But next year, hopefully, we'll see the payouts increase in this class. Of course, we're trying basically every penny we make off of it, we put right back in. So we are trying to grow that. We hope the payouts will get up there. We don't want them like crazy, where you got.
Where you're gonna bring the bigger the payout.
Major super hitters. This is kind of a local, I shouldn't say local thing, because we travel around and we welcome anybody. But I think you can get too big and kind of hurt yourself. Would y'all agree with that?
Oh yeah, the bigger the payout, the bigger the wallet is that's gonna race it.
What's probably the biggest thing that piqued your interest about the Outlaw Society?
Local racing.
It's being close to home.
Yeah, close to home, and that belt and that poster's pretty cool.
Pretty good stuff on the banquet, folks.
Oh, yeah.
The big banners, I don't know if you've seen those from I've got an extra set of them, had them made up, got them hung at Knoxville. Of course, Knoxville's the home track of the Outlaw Society, but we also have Crossville, Brainerd, and Shadyside, and we're grateful to be able to go out there to those facilities and race and take part. But we may have some changes coming next year. Not to say we're not going to go to those tracks, but we might have some additional tracks.
More
we visit too.
more tracks you add, you won't have to start over. You just go to another.
That's right. Whose car's faster?
In what?
I got to give these guys hands.
He's faster than I am, but I don't mean he's gonna get there first.
That's right. That's right.
All right, I got one more question. I guess this is directed at Brian, and then we'll give you guys the opportunity to make some statements and say anything. But Brian, a lot of the ladies out there they got to know: is it dyed or is it natural?
This is all natural. I was born with chest hair and a beard, spit from the blood of Chuck Norris, son.
Full of shit, folks. Oh, there was one other question I had popped in my mind, but then you done made me lose it on that.
But I'd like to do a special shout out to Travis Cox at Cox Racing Engines. He's been with us the last 15 or so
Both
years.
of us. He's been with both of us.
And we couldn't do it without him.
That's right.
Awesome. Travis is a good dude, hell of an engine builder. Worked on my junk in the past too, so that's where my stuff will go back to. So.
And Travis, he had to do that because he's the champ. The champ always gets to talk first.
And I ain't the champ. Jake Green's the champ. I'm going to do my best to get it this year, but it's a long way away. We got 3 races left, with one of them being double points, so it's still anybody's ball game. I'm just humbled to be here.
Jake, put your legs up. It's getting deep.
Because he'll make you think I talk crap, but I don't talk crap.
Heard it right here, folks. The Outlaw Society, next event, Mayhem on the Mountain, August 26th and 27th. I'm pretty sure I got my date right on that, JB. Have I got the date right?
Yeah, you got them right.
August 26th, 27th, Crossville Dragway. Be there. See you next time, folks.